1865, Juneteenth. 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, black people in Texas finally heard that they were free. Free to lead a plantation, free to choose their own path, free legally. But here's what nobody told them. The chains on their wrists were gone, but the chains in their minds, those stayed. A 160 years later, 2026, those chains are still here, passed down generation after generation. And the question I need you to ask yourself right now, are you free? Are you really free? Or are we just off the plantation? This is Top Status Podcast, real issues that affect the black community. I'm your host, Billionheir PreEminent. Today I'm breaking down what is psychological slavery, how you recognize it, and what are 3 things you can do about it right now. Because if you're in chains, the first step is breaking them. What is psychological slavery? It's not the chains on your wrists. It's not the whips on your back. It's not the walls around your body. It's control of your mind. Imagine this. You're in a cell. The door is wide open. There's no guards. There's no locks. But you don't leave. Why? Because you've been conditioned to believe that you don't deserve to leave, that there's nothing better outside, that this cell is all you're worth. That's psychological slavery. When you're free legally, but you think like a slave, you act like a slave, and you move like a slave. When the chains are in your head, not around your waist. When you become your own slave master. Psychological slavery shows up in 4 ways. Form 1, identity slavery. You hate who you are. Your hair, your skin, your culture, all of it feels wrong to you. You look in the mirror, you see a problem to fix instead of a legacy to honor. Form 2, you make money, but you never have wealth. You spend, they invest. You work, they own. You're free to labor for them. Form 3, social slavery, crabs in a bucket mentality. You can't build with your own people. You tear each other down instead of lifting each other up. The oppressor doesn't even need to destroy you when you destroy yourself. Form 4, mental slavery. I can't, we can't, that's not for us. That's learned behavior. That's a learned helplessness. You don't even try because you've accepted the ceiling that they built for us. These 4 forms, they're everywhere. They're thriving in 2026, but most of us don't even recognize them. So today, I'm going to help show you these signs, the 10 signs of psychological slavery. Here's the truth. Psychological slavery is invisible. That's what makes it so dangerous. A physical chain, you can see it, you can feel it, you can point to it and say, this is what's wrong, this is the problem, and this is what I need to fix. But a mental chain, it's like your feelings. It's like your own beliefs. It's like your own limitations. You can't fight what you can't see. So I'm going to try my best to help you see these 10 signs of psychological slavery. And I need you to be honest with yourself. I need you to really think about and see, are you being affected by psychological slavery? Sign number 10, you hate your natural self. You're psychologically enslaved if you hate your natural self. Skin bleaching, hair rejection, that's not style, that's programming. Sign 9, you worship European standards. You're psychologically enslaved if you worship European standards. If you believe that all things professional means straight hair, that beautiful means light-skinned, that's conforming to the European standards, and their standards become your standards. Sign number 8, you destroy your own people. You're psychologically enslaved if you destroy your own people. If you can't celebrate black success, are you the crab in the bucket pulling the others down? The oppressor doesn't even need to destroy you when you destroy your own self. Sign number 7, economic slavery. You're psychologically enslaved if you're an economic slave. You work, but they own. Your dollar leaves your community immediately. You're free to work for your oppressor. Number 6, seeking white approval. You're psychologically enslaved. You seek white approval. You wait for their approval before you start. You need white validation to feel legitimate. A slave asks for permission. A free person just takes action. Sign 5, limited thinking. You're psychologically enslaved if you have limited thinking. If you think that I can't, if you think that black people can't, if you think that that's not for black people, you accepted the ceiling that they built for us, and you don't even try anymore. That's learned helplessness. That's a learned behavior. And guess what we learned it from? That's a psychological change. Sign 4, historical ignorance. You're psychologically enslaved if you don't know your history. If you can name any European kings, but not an African one, if you know more about European history than you know about African history, if you think that our history only starts with us being enslaved, if you think that the only thing that black people have accomplished is slavery, without history you have no identity, and without identity you accept whatever they tell you. Addiction. You're psychologically enslaved if you're addicted to their approval. You need them to like you, validate you, to accept you. You change yourself to fit into their spaces. You're performing for your captain. You're dancing for their approval. That's slavery. That's psychological slavery. Sign 2, defending your oppressor. You're psychologically enslaved. You defend your oppressor. You think that slavery was a long time ago. Get over it. If we work hard enough, it's not about race anymore. I hear that a lot. That's what they want you to think. But you become an agent. You become a defender of your oppressor. You're not just in prison, you're guarding it. Sign 1, powerlessness. You're psychologically enslaved if you feel powerlessness, if you feel victim mentality, if you feel that everything is someone else's fault. You have no agency or no control. You're waiting to be saved instead of saving yourself. That's the ultimate sign that you accepted the chains of psychological slavery. Now, if you recognize yourself in any of these signs, you're experiencing psychological slavery. I know that's hard to hear, but here's the good news. Recognition is the first step towards freedom. You can't break a chain, you can't sleep. But now that you see it, what you see is break. Here are 3 actions that can break all these chains. You can't break all the chains in one setting, because Rome wasn't built in a day. Slavery won't be undone in one evening. But you can start. You can take 3 actions, not tomorrow, not next week, but right now, today. These 3 actions are keys to your freedom. Action 1, interrupt the program. Psychological slavery is a program running in your mind. It's like software, it's like code. It's running automatically in the background in your mind, controlling your thoughts without you even knowing it. First step towards freedom, recognize when the program is running, then interrupt it. That's right now. Step 1, catch the thought. When you think I can't, when you think we can't, when you think something negative about yourself, your people, or your own potential, you have to stop that. You have to stop the negative thinking. You have to stop the program. And once you recognize it, you can stop it. Step 2, question it. Question and ask yourself, is this a program that's running in my mind? Who's benefiting from it? Am I being brainwashed? Would I think this if I knew my full history? Most of the time, it's not true. Most of the time, it's the program running in the back of your mind. Reframe it. When you think I can't, make it become, I'm learning how. When you think that black people can't, reframe it to black people have, black people will. Instead of thinking I'm just a nigga, think I'm descended from kings and queens. Every single time you catch a negative thought, stop and reframe it. Reframe your negative thinking. Interrupt the program. That's how you take control of your mind. 2, take 1, economic action. Economic slavery is the easiest to measure, and it's the fastest to change. You can't change centuries of conditioning overnight, but you can change where your money goes today. The dollar is your power. Use them. Here's 3 options. Pick one. Option 1, move your money. Research 1 black-owned bank today. Start the process of moving your money to a black-owned bank. Even if you don't finish it today, start today. Your money should be working for you and your community, not somebody else's. Option 2, buy black. Make 1 black purchase, whether it's groceries, clothing, services, anything. Google black owned in your city and find one, and make 1 black purchase a day. Option 3, stop 1 slave purchase. Identify 1 place where you regularly give your money to and don't economically free when your money works for you and your people, not for your oppressor. Pick one of those three options and do it before this weekend ends. Action 3. Learn one truth that they did not teach you in school and pass it on. Psychological slavery depends on our ignorance. They control you, or they control us by controlling what we know and what we don't know. Knowledge is always the antidote. Every truth you learn is one chain being broken. It's one psychological chain being broken from around your neck. Here are 3 options. Learn about pre-slavery African history. Google ancient African civilizations. Watch one YouTube documentary. 30 minutes. Learn about Kemet. Learn about Timbuktu. Learn about the Moors. Learn about Kush. See yourself before the change. See our people as kings and queens, not just as slaves. That's the narrative that they continue to push. They continue to push that we were always slaves and we weren't. We were something before we became something. Option 2. Learn about black economics. Google Black Wall Street. Learn what we built, that we always had the capacity to make money, to be entrepreneurs. We have to stop them from taking from us. Option 3. Learn about black inventors. Learn about Garrett Morgan. Learn about Mae Jemison. Learn about Dr. Charles Drew. Learn about Lewis Lattimore. Learn what they invented. Learn what they created. Learn what their contributions were. See black excellence in action. See what's possible. Spend 30 minutes today learning one thing that they didn't teach you in school. Psychological slavery is control of the mind. When you become your own slave master, the chains are moved from around your wrists to around your head. 10 signs from self-hatred to limited thinking to defending your oppressor. If you can see these signs, you're not alone. Most of us have been carrying chains we don't even see. 3 actions you can take today. 1. Interrupt the program. Catch and reframe limited thinking. 2. Take one economic action. Move your money to a black-owned bank and stop a slave purchase where your money or you not being appreciated. Learn one truth. Number 3, learn one truth. Because 30 minutes of knowledge that they didn't teach you in school would definitely break the chains of psychological slavery. Imagine a world where we truly free, not just legally free, but mentally free too. Where we know our history, where we control our own economics, where we love ourselves, where we build together instead of tearing each other down. That world is possible when it starts with you. It starts with you breaking those chains. Psychological slavery only works if you don't recognize it. But you recognize it now, and the chains are visible. The keys are in your hand. The question is, what are you going to do about it? I go by the name of Billionheir PreEminent. This is Top Status Podcast. I'm what you consider a social commentator, and I deal with issues that affect the black community. So comment below. Which of these 3 actions are you going to take this week? Let's break these chains together. Until the next episode.